Hi all, this is Wild Weather here for LiveWeatherBlogs.com, coming to you Friday night, and yep, another night where the warmth is coming north. Now it's not going to get so far north; it's going to get shunted off to the east, and I'll show you that in a moment. But 72 balmy degrees right now in Dallas. It's cooling down out in the west. Still, these temperatures are quite a bit above normal. Still, snowstorm still going on in Denver, starting to cool out now. We'll show you that on the radar there in a moment. 10 degrees up here now is the coldest temperature, and a low of 48. Outside, maybe some valleys out here, but 10 degrees in Caribou. 34 degrees right now in Green Bay. Whew. Pretty warm for February 3rd. Pretty warm indeed. Let's go up north, show you what's going on in Alaska. 18 to 18 to 31 degrees below zero from Barrow down the west side of Alaska here. But look at the warmth out here in the northwestern territories of Canada. 39 degrees. Look how far north this is. 39 degrees up here in the northwestern territories of Canada. Let's take a closer look at that. What's going on in Canada? Wow. Look at this warmth coming up here. 39 degrees. There it is again. Extreme far northern Canada there. Wow. 36s out here, all above freezing basically. Calgary, Edmonton, quite warm. Just amazing warmth out here. And it's not really all that cold over here into eastern Canada. I mean, it could be much colder. Look at this, 23 degrees. Wow. Very warm, folks, out here in Canada. Just incredible stuff. Now, over in Europe, different story over there. Look at this, below zero air. Whew, that's pretty cold. Now, I remind you, it's coming up in the wee hours of the morning, but 20s and 30s degrees below zero out here. It's very cold. 28 degrees in London. Very cold air over here in Europe. Um, a little below zero there in Moscow as well. So, wow. There's your temperatures. I'm going to go to the satellite here. All of this presented to you by hamweather.com. Show you the water vapor map here. And here's things that go in motion. Here's a cutoff low. Mean flow of the jet streams up here. You can see a pretty fast zonal flow here, but then you get some undulations in the jet stream, as we were maybe alluding to. We could see, and sure enough, it's happening. Out here, here's that storm going up into Canada, bringing all the warm air up in here into the northern reaches of Canada. 39 degrees up here, so this storm is conveying the warm up. You can see the cold air is coming down, but it's not going to get into the United States because of this closed off upper level low. Is actually, you can see the south winds coming up here, north winds, everything meets and everything moves east. It's almost like a canceling out effect. If this storm were not here right now, all this cold air would just come barreling down. But this darn low, this darn upper level low here got in the way. Even though the AO is negative, this is not allowing the cold air to come down. Once this gets out of the way, we'll see what happens down the road. Um, and you can see that this storm is probably going to get sheared off to the east, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. Look at all this moisture up here. Down here in the, now this is in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but it's not raining or doing anything at the surface, which is interesting. But you can see quite a bit of flow coming up from the south. Now, as we head into February, it's not uncommon to see that. You're going to start getting the warming coming further north with the sun angle going further north. And it's always been my thinking that we could see at least one snowstorm in February, and well, the chances of that happening are, to me, seem to be getting slim because just consistent warmth is just continuing day after day after day with above normal temperatures. But hey, we'll see what happens. These undulations in the jet stream out in the Pacific are getting rather robust looking, and this zonal flow eventually is probably going to go away. Looking at what's going on out here in the Pacific. So you can see this flow is coming up like this. Pretty nice looking storm up here. Look at how tightly wound this storm is here. Unfortunately, this storm is going to tightly wound. It's going to kind of wind itself back, and then it's going to deflect this storm kind of like this. The precipitation shield will probably, maybe go a little further north than that, probably come down something like that. And maybe you get some snow out here in the southwestern corner of Pennsylvania and right in here, but I'm thinking it's going to stay south of the Mason-Dixon line at this point because this little feature is going to just kind of shear it across. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. Let's go to NOAA here. Winter storm warnings and even a blizzard warning is still in effect out here in western Nebraska. Storm is winding down. 12 to 18 inches of snow was common out here. Pretty good snowstorm for February out this way. Um, uh, pretty impressive totals. Severe thunderstorm watch is still out for North Texas here, and we'll take a look at that on the radar here. This is from Telecast.com, and we'll put this into motion. Quite a bit of severe weather now. Isolated severe supercells here. And you can see some storms here merging with the line. There's going to be some very heavy rain that's going to fall just to the northeastern Texas here, Texarkana area. Pretty good line dying out here in Arkansas as it moves east, but this is the real deal here. Look at that. And heavy snows continue to fall. As you can see, this storm is sitting right about here. You get the idea. It's going to swing off to the east. And notice Chicago here, the precipitation is hitting a brick wall, and you can see which way it's moving here. You can see the radar echoes moving off in this general direction, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to get sheared down here. Get the idea. There's a little impulse here. This little impulse coming down across northern New York State is also going to help to deflect this storm and weaken it and move it to the south of the Philadelphia region, more or less. Maybe get a few snowflakes, snow showers into the Maryland here in northern Delaware, extreme South Jersey, but I don't think this is going to get north of the Mason-Dixon line. Going back to the National Weather Service, I'm going to look at severe weather reports here. Still a slight chance here, and there's a severe thunderstorm watch. There was a tornado watch that has now since expired. Thunderstorms still going strong here. Here are your reports for today. Oops. Sorry about that. Here are your reports today. One lone tornado down here. 4 reports of wind and hail. Wind damage, excuse me. 4 reports out here, wind damage, and a lot of hail reports. Upper level low coming in with cold air aloft causes hail. The severe weather, I mean, it wasn't as impressive as I thought it would be, but nevertheless, it was there. All right, looking at the model analysis, the latest NAM that came in, and it supports the idea that this storm that's coming from the west here is going to get sheared off, and we'll start it here in motion. Here it comes, and it just gets sheared. This upper level, this low that was coming out here, does this little curlicue action, and it causes an impulse to come down and push this thing out to sea. So that's kind of where we're looking at right now. A little bit of different stuff going on out in the Pacific here, but again, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Going back to the water vapor map here, look at the flow. Northeast flow coming out of South America and Central America right now. Just amazing stuff. Moisture headed straight north. Hopefully coming up into February 12th to the 20th or so, get one of these systems come off the subtropical jet and do one of these out here in Denver over in here, and maybe we can get some snow, because you can see what happens. I mean, it doesn't have to be, this is just cold enough for a snowstorm to occur, and they got 12 to 18 inches. Could this same pattern here in the Denver area happen over here? Time will tell, folks. We'll see. Right now, it's for snow lovers, 2,000, 2,400, 2,500 miles too far west. 2,000 miles or so too far west. And maybe this kind of situation can happen over here come by mid-month. We'll see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully that NAO can dip negative. You can see an idea that it's trying to, as a storm here, you can see it's going to head kind of this way. So we'll see what happens, folks. This is Wild Weather here for LiveWeatherBlogs.com. Hoping you have a great night and a great weekend if I don't talk to you. Good night.